Welcome back to Westmoreland on the Gridiron. Sean Meyers now joined by the first-year head coach of Greensburg Central Catholic, John Thompson, taking the time to join us. And first off, Johnny, we appreciate you getting together and talk about your football team. I know it's been a pretty good first year for you. Your team has clinched a playoff spot courtesy of the win this past week against Riverview. How significant was that to get back to the postseason, especially for you in your first year to get into the playoffs?
Thanks for having me, first of all. No, it's a great accomplishment for our team. It was a goal of ours coming into the season to make the playoffs. So we accomplished that, and it was a lot of hard work put in by the team and coaches, to get here.
It certainly wasn't easy because Riverview gave you a very competitive game. It was a one-touchdown victory, 21-14 against the Raiders, but it was your third straight victory. And so it certainly seems as though after that loss at Clairton, your team has responded, rebounded. What have you seen over those past three games during that winning streak?
Guys have stepped up. I mean, it's a long season, especially in single A when you have lower numbers and guys having, with injuries. And kids are very resilient and hardworking and just, take it day by day, which I asked them to do and not look forward too far ahead or in the past, like the loss to Clairton. I mean, it was an 8-7 game at halftime, and we lost it there in the second half, but it showed the competitiveness and like I said, resilience of our team to take it to the next game and go on this streak. So it's been good. It's been fun. The kids are having fun, and like I said, they're working really hard.
I know you mentioned the small roster, and that's something that's not unusual for a Class 1A school, but maybe a little unusual for GCC compared to some of the past seasons. How have you handled that and navigated that, and how has that really tested the mettle of many of these players?
It's finding a role for them. And, for example, this week, Landon Honick stepped up at running back and needed to fill in for Nick DeLugas, who who got injured, basically was in the Springdale game, but played through it for a couple games and really needed somebody to step up in that position, and Landon did, and it showed in his performance, along with, other players that have had to fill other roles and, getting the best players out there, to perform offensively, defensively, and special teams. And they've embraced those roles.
Well, talking about the game against Riverview, obviously Honick was one of the key components offensively. Your defense did a nice job because the Raiders had the WPIAL's rushing leader in Carlo Bizzato heading into that contest. Now, he did get over 100 yards, but he didn't go for 400 some like he has earlier this season. How did you kind of limit him and ultimately hold down a pretty explosive offense?
Like that was a focus of our week, going into it and stopping the run. It's been, a little struggle for us, throughout the season. It has been is stopping the run, and we really made an impact or a focus on that during the week of practice. Field conditions helped as well. It was a sloppy, muddy game. He is a heck of a running back, but again, I don't like to give up over 100 yards a game. That's been my thing as a defensive coach, one of our goals. But we were able to keep him contained. We didn't give up any big plays, big runs, which I think was huge. And a bunch of kids stepped up. Evan Stasko, I think he had 17 tackles. Pete Mazowicki, our middle linebacker, he had 16. Samir Crosby had, I think he had 16 tackles. So we were swarming to the ball. We ran to the ball. We were gap sound, and was proud of the effort that we were able to give and keep them contained.
On a smaller roster that doesn't have a ton of seniors, nor does it have a bunch of returning letter winners, I know your quarterback for any team is going to play a leadership role, but especially on your team because Tyree Turner's been there. He's experienced. He has that poise, it appears. How has he not only excelled as a player, but also as a leader and maybe a mentor for some of these younger players?
Oh, no question. He stepped up, and he is that leader, the vocal leader that we need on the team. And the experience that he's coming back with and confidence that he has, and picking up a somewhat new system that we had put in this year. He is just, taken it and ran with it and has taken ownership of it. So, along with that, it is helping these younger kids every day after practice. You'll see him out there for another, 30 minutes after throwing, taking snaps, working with the younger kids with their routes, just really bringing them along and giving them that confidence as well that he has in them, which is just as important, with the confidence he has as himself, and where he may make a mistake or something may happen, he doesn't dwell on it. He doesn't, he's able to park it and play the next play, and the kids really feed off of that and respond off of that as well.
Talking to Greensburg Central Catholic's JT here on Westmoreland on the Gridiron. I know you said that he made an adjustment to a new system as the quarterback. I would imagine that there's been an adjustment period to some extent for you as well. Mostly your background is at the collegiate level, and then I believe the most recent coaching position was at the youth level. So you're kind of in between now at the high school. What have you learned that maybe, I don't want to say has surprised you, but has been a big adjustment for you?
Yeah, it's a learning experience every day. From breaking down film and scouting opponents to roster management to, like I said, I think the biggest part is trying to continuing to build the relationships of these kids on our team and building a culture here of, discipline, accountability, the faith, that we have in faith in God and instilling that into our team, has been great. But like I said, it is a challenge, and like I said, I'm learning every day. But we're getting better and better as coaches, as staff, as a team, week after week, and I'm proud of that.
One thing that's particularly fun about Class 1A football in your conference, the Eastern Conference, is a lot of teams can score a lot of points. That applies to Leechburg, your opponent this week. So you were able to, by and large, contain Riverview. How do you try to do the same against the Blue Devils?
Oh, they're a good football team. I'm breaking down, still continuing to game plan tonight, and breaking down some special team stuff right now. And as I sort their kicks, I see a lot of kickoffs to start and then punt returns. So that's saying they're scoring a lot of points and they're doing a great job on defense of making people punt. We're a very well coached team. They're sound. They're fundamental. They got a really good quarterback, number 7, Jaden. Let's see if I got the name right here. Got to get my glasses on. Jaden Floyd. He's an outstanding football player. So it's definitely going to be a big challenge, and it's obviously week 10. It's our last game, and there's a lot riding on it.
And I want to finish on this. You said there's a lot riding on it. So you're in the playoffs. That's a big goal. But now it's about seeding and playoff positioning. And I think there's also something that's always significant about winning a conference title, even if you share it. That's a possibility, but you need to take care of your business and then hope that Jeanette knocks off Clairton. So is it fair to say that if you do get the victory on Friday, you're going to become a cheerleader for the Jayhawks, as unusual as that might seem?
I can't control that stuff, right? We always tell our kids control the controllable. So whatever happens, happens. We are happy to be in the playoffs, and our focus is on Leechburg and taking care of that and trying to figure out this playoff system. I've asked a number of people how it works and how the seating works and everything else. Still haven't figured that out, but we just got to take care of Leechburg, and then we'll figure it out on Saturday afternoon.
And I can tell you from covering high school football for over a decade, some people, once they think they have it figured out, then they realize that they really have no idea after the brackets come out. So we'll all be in kind of the same boat over this weekend. JT, right. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. Good luck on Friday, and then certainly beyond that into the playoffs as well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That is John Thompson, the head coach of Greensburg Central Catholic. We'll take a break and continue right here on Westmoreland on the Gridiron.